I brought myself down. I gave them a sword, and they stuck it in, and they twisted it with relish. And I guess if I had been in their position, I'd have done the same thing.
Is there any doubt when one reading the whole conversation? One, you could get $1 million and you could get it in cash. I know where it could be gotten. Two, your major guy to keep under control is Hunt. Don't you have three? Don't you have to handle Hunt's financial situation? Four, let me put it frankly, I wonder if that doesn't have to be continued. Five, get the $1 million. It would seem to me that would be worthwhile. Six, don't you agree that you'd better get the Hunt thing? Seven, that's worth it and that's buying time on. So, 8, we should buy the time on that, as I pointed out to John. 9, Hunt has at least got to know this before he's sentenced. 10, first you've got the Hunt problem. That ought to be handled. 11, the money can be provided. Mitchell could provide the way to deliver it. That could be done. See what I mean? 12, but let's come back to the money. They were off on something else here, desperate to get away from the money, bored to death with the continual references to money. $1 million and so forth and so on. Let me say that I think you could get that in cash. 13, that's why your immediate thing, you've got no choice with Hunt but 120 or whatever it is, right? 14, would you agree that this is a buy time thing? You better damn well get that done, but fast. 15, now who's going to talk to him? Colson. 16, we have no choice, and so on. Now, reading as you've requested,
Yes, all right, fine.
The whole context.
Let me just stop you right there, right there. You're doing something here which I am not doing, and I will not do throughout these broadcasts. You have every right to. You are reading there out of context, out of order, because I have read this and I know it really better than you do.
I'm sure.
And I should know it better because I was there. There's no reflection on you. You know it better than anybody else I know, incidentally, and you're doing it very well.
Here's Dean talking about this hush money for Hunt, talking about blackmail, and all of that. I would say that you endorsed or ratified it. But let's leave that on one side.
I didn't endorse or ratify.
Why didn't you stop it?
Because at that point, I had no knowledge of the fact that it was going to be paid. I didn't think of it as a cover-up. I didn't intend it to cover up. Let me say, if I intended to cover up, believe me, I'd have done it. You know how I could have done it? So easily. I could have done it immediately after the election, simply by giving clemency to everybody. And the whole thing would have gone away. I don't go with the idea that what brought me down, a coup, a conspiracy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I brought myself down. I gave them a sword, and they stuck it in, and they twisted it with relish. And I guess if I had been in their position, I'd have done the same thing. My motive was not, I didn't believe that we were covering any criminal activities. I didn't believe that John Mitchell was involved. I didn't believe that, for that matter, anybody else was. I was trying to contain it politically. And that's a very different motive from the motive of attempting to cover up criminal activities of an individual. And so there was no cover-up of any criminal activities. That was not my motive.
What did Haldeman tell you during the 18.5-minute gap?
Haldeman's notes are the only recollection I have of what he told me. Haldeman was a very good note-taker because, of course, we've had other opportunities to look at his notes. He was making the notes for my presidential files. The notes indicated
PR offensive.
That's right. Well, of course, the notes. Well, you've asked me what it was. My recollection was of the notes.
Do you think that Henry Kissinger will be pleased? Do you think that Henry Kissinger will be pleased? Do you think that Henry Kissinger will be pleased? Do you think that Henry Kissinger will be pleased?
I know how difficult it is for anyone, and most of all you, but I think that people need to hear it, and I think unless you say it, you're going to be haunted for the rest of your life.